I'm saying it now, so y'all can't say that I didn't say it before, but 2024 is going to be the year where we get everything we want and everything we're owed. Welcome to today's YouTube video. It's a new year. We're all excited. We want to be our best selves. We want to be on top of our shit. So in light of that, we're going to be filling out our 12-week year for Q1. And actually, once this video is up and the 12 weeks have passed, I'm going to film a new YouTube video. And I'm obviously going to post it up here for you guys. And we're going to be going over how we did in Q1 and actually preparing for Q2. And I'm going to keep up with this throughout this year so we can all see whether or not the 12-week year is actually effective. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I am a visual person. So I'm the kind of person who I really want to get things done. I have new goals I want to implement, new things I want to achieve, but just like every other human being, I fall off track sometimes, right? But my issue is that once I fall off track, it gets really hard to get back on because I'll just be like, oh, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then just keeps repeating over and over and over, right? Which I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. But I think that for me, whenever I see it laid out in front of me, not whenever I think about it or when someone tells me, but when I just have it simply in front of me, pen to paper, checked boxes, however it works for you, once I see that visual, I'm like, wow, like I missed that much. Like I have that many unchecked boxes. It has more impact for me. And so that's what I mean when I said I'm a visual person. So with the 12-week year, having that visual checklist where I'm crossing things off or just checking a box, I think it's going to have a lot more impact to help keep me accountable and, just keep me on top of things, keep me going for the whole year. I hope. But before we just jump into like writing anything and thinking that it's plug and go, let's just take a second to really think about what we want our year to look like. What goals do we want to focus on? You can think about your life, you can think about your profession, physical goals, spiritual goals, habits that you want to change and just start from there. Or you can even like start by thinking back to 2023 and, going over things that happened during the year or ways that you acted or carried yourself, things that you did, and see if there was anything that you didn't like that you did in 2023, make it a goal or a starting point for this year to do the opposite of that and to change that. For me, I have 3 things that I really want to improve on and focus heavily this year. And so I'm going to take those 3 things and make them like my main topics for my 12-week year. If you have more, then, do more. But I feel like 3 is a good number because it's easy to focus on those 3 and like really dial in. The first one is going to be fitness and health because your girl has been eating crazy ever since the holiday seasons and I got to put it to bed. Number 2 is to continue growing my social platforms and keeping up with my creator journey here on YouTube and also on TikTok. And then the third one is going to be to really like nurture my friendships, my new friendships, as well as my older, like more established friendships, because I did kind of neglect those last year, which I really didn't like and I'm not a fan of. So definitely going to focus on that some more this year. So with my main goals identified, I went ahead and I used these to fill out my 12-week year using a Notion template, and actually got this template from a fellow creator here on YouTube named Hello Corey. I've left the link to the template as well as the link to her video where she talks about her 12-week year here in my description. So that way, if you guys want to use the template or if you want to see her video, you can easily access it. Once I got the template, I went ahead and I changed the cover photo as well as the individual photos for the goals, just to make it a little bit more personal for me and like my style. And from there, I just took it like one goal at a time and worked on like top to bottom, filling out each individual section. And I just started with thinking about like what my approach was going to be to like achieving that specific goal. And that's what I ended up putting in like the tactics section. So for like my health and fitness goal, like, okay, I wanted to focus and prioritize my health this year. So how am I actually going to get that done? That means I'm going to have to work out more. And so that's what I put into this box under like tactic number 1. And in there, I just added to add movement into like my daily to-do list. So that's going to be a way that I'm going to start prioritizing my health. And then when I moved down into the daily check-in from there, I just went ahead and actually wrote down what that looks like every single day. So if I'm adding movement into my day-to-day tasks, what am I doing on that day? So for example, for like Friday, I put down that I'm going to do like a 30-minute walking break and I'm going to do 30 minutes of afternoon yoga. And so I like this template and I like this idea of the 12-week year because you start at the top like very broadly, and as you move further down into each category, it gets more and more specific. So it makes it a lot easier to really like think about what exactly you're going to be doing to achieve those goals, as opposed to just only focusing on the goal and feeling kind of lost on what you're going to be doing on the day-to-day. For my second goals of like growing as a creator and growing my socials, I went ahead and put down for my tactic that I'm going to cement my morning routine. It's not something that I've had before. My morning routine has just kind of been like all over the place. I just kind of set my morning routine as like waking up at a specific time, but I wasn't even doing that. And even if I did do that, it didn't necessarily guarantee that I was getting started on anything right away. I actually spent the majority of my mornings, especially recently, just kind of doing nothing and wasting time. So that was a big one for this year, to really establish a morning routine. Kind of like how people say, you should in the winter like warm up your car before you go off driving. So my morning routine, which is actually now comprised of like having a wellness shot, having my coffee, and like journaling before walking my dog, is me kind of like warming up the car. And it's only been a couple of days into the new year with like practicing this, but so far I've definitely seen some results. I've actually been a lot more productive, a lot more chipper too, and it's easier to just kind of get going on my day instead of like wasting time and trying to like work myself up to like go and do what I'm supposed to be doing. My second tactic to grow my socials is to just post daily on my short form content and to make sure I'm posting weekly here on YouTube as far as long form goes. And then from here, I just broke down what I'm going to be doing every single day for those specific tactics that I mentioned, those approaches, what it is I'm going to be doing every single day to like make sure I'm meeting those. So Monday through Sunday on the daily check-in portion, I have, you know, my daily routine of like journaling and having my wellness shot and then walking my dog. And then after that, you know, for the TikTok goals or the short form of posting every single day, I'm sitting here and deciding what day am I going to film, what day am I going to edit, and I'm putting that into the daily check-ins. And for YouTube, if I'm going to upload on Saturday, what do I need to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday to make sure that I'm on track to get that done? So for example, today is Friday, the day I'm filming this. And so today I'm having to create a thumbnail for a video that's going to go live tomorrow. And so that's a portion of like I'm going to put into the daily check-in for Friday, as well as, you know, filming this video is on my daily check-in for Friday. And then my third goal for nurturing my friendships, I just have on here for my approaches, my tactics to like plan a monthly meetup at least once a month with my friends, to make sure that I'm texting them at least once a day. It doesn't have to be the same friend every single day, but you know, I have different groups of friends. So every single day I want to make sure that I reach out to somebody. And then the third tactic is going to be to actually go to a weekly or a bi-weekly connect group with my church so I can get more established and continue meeting people and just like taking that time to like nurture those relationships. And so for this one, the daily check-in is pretty simple because for the most part, it's just going to be to make sure I send that text message out. And then occasionally I'll have certain things like the connect group and stuff. So this is essentially what my 12-week plan for the next quarter is going to look like. So right now you can see I only really have week 1 posted on here on this template, but I'm just going to really like copy and paste, and I'll change things here and there if I need to. But I'm really excited to use this. I think that having it here in front of me and being able to check off these boxes on the Notion is really going to help me to like keep track of things and keep track of how I'm doing instead of relying only on my mind or relying on like my motivation to make sure that I'm getting things done. Now, I don't know how y'all feel when you look at this template, but when I first opened it and I started to fill it out, I felt really lost and overwhelmed. But once I kind of started and like pushed through that little bit of difficulty and resistance, it got a lot easier. And by the time I finished, I actually felt really, really good about the template and just the overall approach, because I feel like it's measurable and it's like quantifiable. It's actually simpler than I think it's going to be, and it just makes sense. So if you feel a little bit overwhelmed in the beginning, definitely push through. It helps. It gets a little bit better. And if you're super struggling with filling it out, definitely leave a comment below and I'll be more than happy to help you. Just write down what your overall goal is and your approach, or just whatever point you're at in the process. If you need help, leave a comment and I'll be more than happy to like give you my input and give you some tips and maybe some advice on how I would break it down. And literally anybody else watching this video can also jump in and help people who leave these comments. And then that way we can just kind of all support each other and just end up feeling super confident in this whole process. So like I said in the beginning, from here on out, I'm going to be using this template every single day for the next 12 weeks. And once the 12 weeks end, I'm going to go ahead and create a new video, pop on here again just to tell you guys how it went, what my thoughts were, if there were any like major changes that I made, and also just quickly like go over what the goals are for the second quarter of the year. And we'll keep up with each other on how we're doing, keep each other accountable, and keep supporting each other throughout this whole year so that we can actually see if this 12-week year works or not. I'm super excited to go through this process with you guys. If you like this video, if you're on a similar journey, if you're trying out the 12-week year, definitely let me know what your top 3 goals are for the year in the comments down below. I'd love to see them and chat with you guys about everything. And with that, I will see you guys in my daily shorts here on YouTube or next week in the long video. Bye.